Okay, y'all, I look crazy, but it's time. I've never done this before. We're gonna do a 24-hour reading challenge, partly because I want to see how many books I can read by the end of the year, and also partly because I want an excuse to just like read, have that be my only responsibility for like 2 hours or 2 days. Well, 1 day for 24 hours. And because I would love to try to finish books that I've already started by the end of the year. Like any that I've like soft DNF'd, I'd love to go back to those now. I have my coffee. I have my water. I will accept no water bottle hate at this time, thank you. And we are starting off with my Kindle. It is 9:30 in the morning. I'm currently about 33% of the way through Reckless by Elsie Silver right now, so that's what I'm going to start off with. And I was reading this last night. Oh my god, it's so good. I'm on chapter 14, and what just happened in chapter 13, oh my god, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. Oh, it was so good. Let's get started. It's pretty slow time. Oh my god, I made a little snack. I love Theo so much. I love him so much. I'm like 70% of the way through now. It's 12:30. 3 hours? Oh my god, I love him so much. Update time. So we have 17 and a half hours left. Willow must go outside right now. So we've been reading. I've been reading for 6.5 hours. I just finished reading Reckless by Elsie Silver. I loved it. I loved it. I was gonna wait to give my ratings until the end, but like, why? 5 stars. 5 stars. My only problem with this book is that I read it on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have a physical version. That's the only problem. I love Theo so much. Theo and Winter are so cute. I was a little hesitant at first. I didn't read like the description of this book at all, so like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, which is how I prefer to go into books, I feel like. But it was so good. It was so fun. It's very spicy, but so good. I don't know, you guys. There was just something about Winter and Theo's relationship that just like really struck a chord with me. Just the way that he was so protective of her and like constantly looking out for her. Oh, I like want to say more, but I also don't want to spoil the whole story. But I mean, maybe I should read the description to see like what doesn't count as a spoiler. What can I say? But anyway, I don't know. I loved it. I highly recommend. It was really good. I recommend the whole Chestnut Spring series. They're all really good. But this one might be my favorite. Anyway, 5 stars for sure. Easy 5 stars. Now, I was thinking of starting an audiobook, picking one on Spotify, because as much as I would like to ignore all of my responsibilities, I do have some things to do today. So I might just listen to an audiobook while I do some things. I'd also kind of just like want a break. Like my eyeballs just need a break from reading. My Kindle's also about to die. But I think that's my update. That's all I got for now. So I'm gonna go look for an audiobook and get started on some stuff around the house. So it's a lot of days later. I kind of wanted to abandon this video and just like never finish it. However, I would really like to see how many books I can read in 24 hours. So while it's no longer going to be 24 hours straight, it's still going to be 24 hours, and I would like to know how this would go. But let's back up a little bit. So the day that I was originally filming this, I was reading for almost 12 hours, and then my husband came home from work and he was like, hey, we gotta pick health insurance. And if you have ever had to pick health insurance, then I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but it was horrible. I did not read. We had to go through everything. We were so confused about everything, so we had to like look everything up, and then it was stressful because it's so expensive, and like the really good plan is so expensive, and blah blah blah. So anyway, I ended up stopping the timer because I wasn't reading, and then once we finally got everything figured out, I was gonna start the timer again, but then I started to, I don't know, I was just starting to like spiral a little bit, you know? So I was like, okay, calling it for today. I cannot keep going. We'll see if I end up finishing this video. Here we are. Fast forward. A lot of days later, we have, why am I so awkward? We have 12 hours and 40 minutes remaining. Last we spoke, I was listening to The Worst Crime of the Year. No. The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. So I am going to continue listening to that. And here's why. I have to build half of this Lego castle today. So I thought, what better day to listen to an audiobook, probably multiple audiobooks, than the day that I need to work on Legos. So, and you might be asking, what do you mean? Why do you need to make this? Great question. For Alan's work. He needs it for a video that they're shooting. So here I am, helping all of them out, you know? We are going to restart this timer. Not restart it, just start it back up again. Resume. And I am going to turn my audiobook back on and build some Legos.
The word was flat and even.
I have 9.5 hours left, and I'm nearly done with the first book for the castle. I'm about to start bag 7. And I'm a little over halfway through The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Ali Carter. And I wanted to share my thoughts. I just accidentally stopped the timer. Okay, I was at 9.5 hours. I'm glad I just said it out loud, or else I would have never known. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna dump these out and build while I talk about my thoughts on the book so far. When you do Legos, do you sort all the pieces from each bag before you start working, or do you just like dump them out and just look for the pieces you need? Because I like to sort. Even though it does take longer to get set up, I feel like it makes actually like following the instructions go faster. I don't know if that's true, but in my head it does, so. Okay, I went into this book like somewhat blind. This is how I like to read. I don't love like reading a lot of reviews or listening to a lot of like summaries of the book. I don't need to read summaries, like 1000% not necessary for me to start a book. So I didn't really know what to expect going into it, but I'm enjoying it a lot more than I kind of expected. If you've listened to the audiobook for Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, the male main character is actually like voiced by the same person, which I'm obsessed with. I love that because I loved Justin from Just for the Summer. So I'm really enjoying that. I guess if you want to know what it's about, it is a like murder mystery where two authors are invited to a house for Christmas, and they get to the house, and then the woman that invited them goes missing. And then there's attempted murders, and then there's just like, you know, typical you're locked in a house and you have to find out what's going on type of situation. Find the missing person and figure out who is trying to kill everyone. You know, classic holiday vibes. I mean, that isn't normally my cup of tea. I'm not normally reading mysteries, murder mysteries, or anything. I will say this one does have a little bit of romance too, which is super fun. Well, the main characters are cute and fun, you know. It's kind of hard to talk and pay attention and count and things, but I am having a good time, and I love the narrator, and I'm listening to it on Spotify, so if you have the Spotify premium membership, you can listen to this one for free as well. So nice. I love that Spotify does that now. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I'm liking it. I'm not obsessed with this book by any means, but not every book can be a 5-star, and I love the narrators, and I'm having a good time. But I must get back to the Legos without distraction now. We have 6.5 hours left, and I finished the audiobook of The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. I would say this book is equally a romance and a mystery. Definitely, after a while, we kind of like lose the mystery a little bit, and we focus on the romance, and then we come back to the mystery, and then the romance, you know? So definitely the first half was more mystery heavy, and then the second half was a little bit more romance heavy, and then obviously like wrapping up the mystery. I enjoyed it. There are definitely parts where I was like, some of the stuff was predictable. Try not to like spoil anything, so that's all I'm gonna say. But I think I want to give it a 4 stars. Yeah, I think that feels good to me, because I'm sure you guys you are dying to know how the Legos are going. I got a little over halfway in the second book. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. But now that I'm done with my audiobook, I think I'm done with the Legos for today, so that way I can sit down and like actually read and my fingertips hurt. It's also 5 p.m. So according to this like timer that I have on here, I will be done with my 24 hours at midnight. So Alan should be getting home within the next like hour to 2 hours. So once he gets back from work, we'll figure out dinner. We need to definitely eat food. But until then, I am about halfway through a novel love story by Ashley Poston. So this is going to be my next read. Like I said, I am really trying to finish books that I've already started. So hopefully I can finish this one. I'm on page 177 right now, and there are 350 pages. I feel like surely I'll finish that in 6 hours. Lego update, and then I need to get into a cozy reading spot. This is looking like a castle, if you ask me. Oh, well, there's Willow. Here's the mess I'm making, but these are all the bags that I have left. I tried to like lay them out in number order so I didn't have to like go digging. So that's the update. But I need to like get a little cozy spot on the couch ready for me. In case you ever wonder what it's like to have a dog, this is what it's like to have a dog. Winston wants you to know that today he opened one of the Christmas presents that we wrapped for him under the tree and started chewing on it. What do you have to say about that? He is really cute. I do love him a lot, if that's not clear. Y'all, this challenge is so much more difficult than I thought it was gonna be. I had planned on staying up to read. 9 o'clock rolled around. I was just asleep. I was laying on the couch reading, and then suddenly I fall asleep. It's probably like 9 o'clock, and then I don't wake up till midnight. So I just woke up the next day. I think I had like 3 hours left of reading. So I finished A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, and I'm just calling it. I finished 3 books for the 24-hour challenge, and you know what? That is it. I am amazed by all of the creators that are staying up actually for 24 hours straight and doing it. That's wild. Wild. Also, I implore you to try it. If you think it's so easy, you try it. This was hard. So I feel like we should go over the ratings and all of the books that I read. So first I read Reckless by Elsie Silver. I gave this one 4.5 stars. Honestly, almost 5 stars. I loved this book so much. This is the 4th book in the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. It follows Theo and Winter. Winter is the sister of the female main character from the first book, and Theo is a like bull rider. Yeah, I guess is a friend of the male main character of the first book. And their story, there were so many times that I wanted to just like scream, but I also like wanted to cry with them, and I laughed with them. And I just loved them so much. Definitely an unconventional story. It does have the accidental pregnancy trope. Yeah, I highly recommend. I mean, I always recommend the Chestnut Springs series as a whole. I have 1 book left, and I'm like dragging my feet because I don't want it to be over. But I recommend. Definitely read them. After that, I listened to The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. I listened to this on Spotify. Love that. So this one is a murder mystery situation where like everybody is trapped in a house together, and then there's a disappearance and potential murders that, or attempted murders that go on, and they're just like trying to figure out who did it. So this book follows the female main character and the male main character, who are both authors, and they both write like mysteries. They are brought into this house because their biggest fan invited them to come stay, and then everything kind of unravels from there. I thought this would be more of like a subplot of romance, but it definitely takes more of a front seat once you get at least like halfway through. Yeah, it was really cute. I enjoyed this one too. I think I'm giving this one 4 stars also. I enjoyed the story. The mystery was like entertaining, and the end was fun. Also very fast paced. I'm not sure how it like reads, but listening to it, it was very fast paced, and I got through a lot of it very quickly without even realizing that I did. Good fun read. And finally, I finished A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, and this book is about the female main character who has an annual like trip she does with her book club, and this year no one can go, so she decides she's gonna still go by herself, and so she plans to drive up to a cabin and just have an entire week of like reading and just a cozy bookish week, whatever. Well, on her way she drives into like a storm, and then suddenly her car breaks down. She has to like stop at the small town. She almost runs someone over, and it turns out she has somehow transported herself or driven herself to this small town that her favorite book series takes place in. It's a romance, but there's also magical realism in that, you know, whole traveling to a fictional place thing. The battle of like, she's trying to leave, but her car's broken. She has to get her car to be fixed. But she also like, there's some things going on in the town that she's helping with and trying to figure out. And she's also meeting all of these characters that she knows and has read so much about. And she's also like grappling with that like desire to want to stay there with them, but also knowing that like she has a life outside. Plus mystery romance guy, you know? But yeah, I enjoyed this one. I think 4 stars as well. Definitely not a 5-star unfortunately. I do also think it was kind of slow in some parts, but overall I enjoyed her writing and I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the characters and the ending was fun. So yeah, 4 stars. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Stick around for more bookish content. I also have my Instagram and TikTok linked down below, as well as my Goodreads if you want to keep up with what I'm reading in real time. I also have my Patreon link down below if you would like to support me and my channel and my book buying habits. But that is it. Thank you for watching and see you guys next time. Bye. I am currently, whoa.